Hello, Rob from Fountain Pen Journey with a review of the Namisu Naos Aluminium Satin Black Fountain Pen. Right, we'll start off talking about Namisu. I've mentioned them before on my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so and turn on all notifications, because otherwise you miss out on bits of my fountain pen journey, because it is a journey. I'm going from pen to pen. And Namisu are a UK based company up in Scotland, and they make their own fountain pens, design them, make them. Some of the clips might be made in other countries, but in general these are UK fountain pens, and they're excellent value. I mean, they're not absolutely dirt cheap, but put it this way, Namisu often have sales on, and they can have 35–45% off some of their fountain pens. And right now, as I'm recording this video, they've got a 35% sale on the Namisu Naos aluminium fountain pens. There's a satin black, there's an aurora green and cobalt blue version, and this is the satin black version, which I shall be reviewing for you today. And all I can say is this is excellent. You need to check these out. If you're in the UK, you know, it's easier if you are in the UK and you're in the market for an all metal fountain pen, something solid, something well made, this is something you should be considering. It's a substantial fountain pen and quite heavy. I will weigh this pen. I don't normally weigh pens unless I feel that there is some significant weight that you need to be aware of, either very light or very heavy. And I've been using this pen for months now, and I absolutely love it. So let's have a look at the pen. First off, on the top you've got this sort of matte, flat end and a knurled finial, which is rather tactile. It's also incredibly sharp. Well, it's not sharp to the point where it's going to do damage to things, but you can feel it. You can definitely feel this, and this, it's not highly polished, but it's very well finished. I'll try and let these I suppose it's moisture from my hands. I just washed my hands, and that's creating a bit of condensation, but it's like a satin sort of polish. I suspect it probably will get scuffed at some point fairly easily, but that should polish out easily enough. And it's got quite a decent length on the cap. So we've got this metal, raw metal polished cap and this black satin finish, so satin black as they call it, and it's this hexagonal design with a steel coloured finial at the end, flat again, and it looks very industrial, and I like industrial design. I like industrial design buildings, I like industrial design fountain pens. This ticks the boxes. This is a nice looking fountain pen. I'll get my Lamy Vista for a size comparison. As you can see, it's very similar. The Namisu Naos is about half a centimetre longer, all capped. Uncapped, about half a centimetre longer again. Now, this pen does not post, so I'm not even going to go down that road. Pop that to one side. So here's the pen. I'll start off inside the cap. Nothing. No cap liner, nothing like that. There are different nib options available. This is a medium steel nib from Namisu. I don't know who they use to make their nibs, but it writes really well. Black plastic feed underneath with the fins. And the section is, now this is the one thing which is going to put some people off. The section does flare out slightly at the base, but it is this smooth metal. It's a decent long section. There's a fair bit of length there. But if you've got slippery fingers, sweaty fingers, you may not get on well with this pen. Personally, I never have an issue with these metal sections, or polished metal sections especially, with my fingers slipping. My hands are really dry, and yeah, I can write comfortably with this pen for a very, very long time. It's a screw cap, as I mentioned. It doesn't post, and I shall try to tell you how many turns. Less than, so uncapping, it's about half a turn to uncap, and it's a very satisfying uncapping experience. These threads are really, really smooth, and it's secure. It's a well-made pen, very, very substantial. This satin finish, which you can see has Namisu there, black satin finish, really tactile. In fact, the whole pen is tactile. The length is tactile. This is a nice pen to hold. With it being aluminium, it's quite a lot of aluminium. It's not thin aluminium. It's got some decent heft to it. All of the pen very, very nicely weighted. The cap is very tactile, decent length to hold in the hand if that's your thing, which it has to be really. You can stand the cap up if you don't want to hold it. And as for the step up to the barrel, it's there. It's not sharp at all, and it's not noticeable. In fact, it's almost comfortable underneath my fingertips there. It's actually quite a nice pen, and look at that, decent length, good size, really comfortable pen to hold. Unscrew the barrel, similarly has excellent threads, and a lot of them, and this ink cartridge looks like it's going to just about perhaps get me through the writing sample. Well machined threads, so let's talk writing. Oops, that was me. Namisu Naos Aluminium. Satin black. Medium steel nib. I do believe they have extra fine, medium and broad nibs available. Very smooth. Very wet as well, as we shall see. Not technical, but wow, that's wet. That is a very, very wet nib, and it lays down ink absolutely spectacularly. This is just, I think, a blue-black cartridge I happen to have lying around and inserted into the pen. Reverse writing, it's scratchy. Not pleasant, but it's possible, and it goes to more of a fine, but it's still, as you can see, very wet. So that's the fine. If I do the same with that, yeah, really, really wet. Brilliant pen, absolutely amazing pen. I love the design. Some people might be, oh, it doesn't post, it doesn't have a clip. Doesn't bother me personally. I think clipless pens, yeah, I mean, I rarely use the clips, apart from perhaps on a pen roll. That's the only time I ever really use a clip, or clipping a pen onto my lanyard at work. But these are really robust pens, and I'm going to weigh it for you now so that you can see exactly what I mean by that. So I shall pop this away, get my scales. So, all up with the cap, well, come on, 50.9 grams. So it is, even for an aluminium pen, really quite weighty. Uncapped, and this is where the hexagonal bit is useful, 26.5. So it's not overly heavy. I mean, this cap adds quite a bit of weight, but it's very sturdy. I mean, this is not thin aluminium. This is decent metal. This is a decently weighted, decently sized all metal fountain pen. It takes standard international cartridges, takes standard international converters, writes really well. It's smooth, it's very wet, which is just what I like, and altogether it is a really exceptional fountain pen. That is an example of one of its downfalls, in that these facets don't actually have exactly the same diameter as the cap. The cap has a greater diameter than the actual barrel of the pen, so when you put it onto a surface, it rolls even with these facets, which is it's kind of like they probably didn't think of that at the time. Without them, it's absolutely fine. It's stable as you like. So that would be my only downside with this pen, is that, you know, you'd think it's clipless and it's not going to roll because of the these facets, but unfortunately it does. But, you know, I can live with that for such a great pen, such a nice design from Namisu. Yeah, definitely recommended. Big up to Namisu for designing this Namisu Naos fountain pen. I'll put a link to their website in the description down below, so head down there and have a look if you're interested in knowing what knowing more about the Namisu Naos or the other fountain pens that they design and manufacture. Worth a look. So thanks very much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye.